Welcome, everyone. This is Romy Online. We're doing murder on the Orient Express today. So let's switch over immediately and get this started. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. And we will continue from where we last left off, which is chapter 3 from yesterday. How you doing? Hello. Do I look okay? Should I move this way or that way? No, this way. There we go. Kind of in the middle now. Alright. Where did I go? Mr. Poirot told me something. Kind of hoping he would be a gentleman. Tell me
Monsieur
what to do.
Poirot. And that is everything.
We progress, mademoiselle.
Can we use the ham radio to help the investigation?
Oh, but certainement. This is a marvelous stroke of luck. Too often the coincidences, they help the criminal. What a refreshing change to have one that will aid Poirot. I have the friend, Monsieur Louis. His son Barnabas is a boy of much energy and interests. One of these is the radio of ham, as his proud father reports in the recent correspondence. Young Barnaby can be our eyes and ears in the outside world. His letters to call are there in my valise in the letter from his father.
Google.
Use the radio of ham to find out more from him about our current predicament. Oh, he is an invaluable asset, mademoiselle. Do not forget to secure his letters, or you will not have the information needed to reach young Barnaby.
I have it.
This book of Masterman's reveals more than he knows.
Love's Captive by the inestimable Mrs. Arabella Richardson, yes. And what does it reveal?
That he's a romantic at heart?
Beneath
Yeah.
that very proper exterior, Masterman is a hopeless romantic.
Perhaps. But I fear that this revelation would only be of embarrassment to Monsieur Masterman. It does not advance our investigation.
This driving license indicates Foscarelli has been a chauffeur.
A not unnatural profession for a man who loves the motor cars.
Hildegard Schmidt's recipe box is suggestive.
You remember at dinner how she was most opinionated with the waiter while studying the menu?
Mm-hmm.
And the label on the box. It is interesting as well.
What?
My lady's
label?
recipes. Now that suggests that she is accustomed to cooking for her employers.
Right.
Not a duty one attaches to the lady's maid, n'est-ce pas?
Oh, like she was a chef.
Mary Debenham's handkerchief does not match the one found next door.
No. Despite the middle name of Hermione beginning with an H,
Hermione.
I did not think that the expensive handkerchief would belong to her. No. The handkerchief of Mademoiselle Debenham is precisely the type one might expect to find in the luggage of a young Englishwoman of her class.
The postcard I found in Greta Olsen's
Tells a
suitcase
different
tells a story.
This card, it speaks to Poirot in many ways. Coney Island is, I think, on the Long Island of New York in America.
Is.
A country she claims not to have visited.
Yep.
Mademoiselle Olsen does not send the postcard to Sweden as she perhaps intended, but saves it as a keepsake for herself. It is not a happy memory, this. A last brief moment in the sun for a family soon to be swept away by the storm. Merci, mademoiselle. Unfortunately, the report, it is not yet complete. We are now armed with much more additional knowledge than before. Continue the investigation, and do not be afraid to go over the ground you have already covered.
Merci. Shall we start at the very beginning as we always do? Head on over to the edge. Now, we have done everything we can in there. Anything additional on this manifest? No. We got the oil for him.
This crate looks like it was once secured with a padlock. It's empty now.
Oh! Well, that makes sense. Is that the same padlock that Mateo had to touch when he put it there? And then somebody grabbed that padlock and used it for the shepherd's hut? I don't think Mateo's in it.
This door leading outside has been ordered sealed.
Is he in there? He is. We need to talk.
Thanks to our master chef's perseverance, the Wiener Schnitzel and Elderfeld salad will be served as promised.
That's all we have to say to him. Hello, Lucien. Where's all the food? Oh,
Excuse
I'm hungry.
me, please, mademoiselle. I will be happy to talk to you.
Are we going back to this?
Ah, dear young miss, I would like to say that despite all the calamity, I have enjoyed sharing
Yeah,
my
kissing ass now.
Thank
Now that
you,
I caught
Greta.
you on a lie.
But I'm afraid I must ask you some more questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am thinking
Yeah.
you must. Our gracious Father, who art in heaven, guides your hand, I think. So, I am content.
Well, you're
I
going to
found
hell.
a postcard
You
in
lied.
your suitcase.
My
Bearing
one
false
keepsake
witness is
from
one of the
that
10
time.
commandments.
It is a silly thing, but I hold it dear.
Tell her. Coney Island is
Coney
in America.
Island is in America.
Yeah, of course. It is on the Long Island of
Mm-hmm.
New York, in the country of America. I lied to you when I said I had never been there. May God forgive me.
Why did you lie?
On the back of the postcard, you write that Helena rode on the roller coaster.
Helena Gilbert, Mrs. Armstrong's young sister.
Oh, here we go.
Only 10 years of age, but so brave. I am not so brave.
Elena
It
Gilbert.
is true. It is true. She was an angel, a sweet, trusting angel. She knew nothing but kindness and love. And she was took away by that wicked, wicked man. And her poor mother, and the other little one who never lived at all. I was to be that little child's nurse, too.
Look at
I
this.
ought to have
Oh my
told
god.
But I was afraid. I did so rejoice that that evil man was dead, that he could not any more kill the little children.
Oh. Here we go. Hi, Sarah. It's getting down to the nitty gritty.
All the talk wears me out.
I just confronted her that she's been to America, and she's like, yeah, I lied. She was scared to tell me. But apparently she knew the Armstrong family. Hey, hey. She knew the Armstrong family. She was going to be the nursemaid to the unborn child that died. Holy hell, man. Schmidt?
I have a few more questions, Frau Schmidt, if I may.
Yeah, of course.
How long have you been with Madame la Princesse?
She said 15 years.
10
the other
years.
one. Oh, 10 years.
15 years.
They are 15.
Yeah, that is right. 15, mademoiselle. I am sorry. This murder, this waiting, it distracts me.
I understand you are an excellent cook.
Yeah, indeed. All of my ladies have said so. Your Excellency.
Calm yourself, Schmidt. You don't know what you are saying.
That is true. I do not know what I am saying.
That will do for now, Mademoiselle Schmidt.
Let's talk to her.
I have returned to you, Your Highness.
I thought you might.
I'm having some difficulty locating the owner of this handkerchief.
I am sorry to hear that. If you had asked me, I could have told you it is mine.
You?
Yours, but Your Highness, your first name is Natalia.
I'm perfectly aware of my first name, mademoiselle. My handkerchiefs are always embroidered with Russian characters. In the Cyrillic alphabet, H is written as A.
Oh.
How did your handkerchief come to be lying by the murdered man's body?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
Your maid said she did not recognize this handkerchief.
Schmidt believes in loyalty as I do. I believe in loyalty to one's friends and one's family and one's class.
Thank you for your time, Princess. Monsieur Masterman, you were once in military service.
Yes, miss, but I can't think how you could know.
Love's Captive by Mrs. Arabella Richardson.
Ah, yes. One of the privileges a soldier retains after he's mustered out. Access to the Royal Military Library. It's quite well stocked. Not all strategy and tactics and memoirs, as you've discovered.
What was your regiment?
Miss Marceau, I'm going to tell you the truth. My service is, of course, a matter of record. I don't wish to hide it. I'm quite proud of it, as a matter of fact. But it's easily researched, and the connections will be found.
Come clean, buddy.
Connections?
I'm sure you must already suspect. Yes, I knew Colonel Armstrong.
Here we go.
I was his Batman in the war, and afterwards his valet in New York.
Oh my
I'm afraid
God.
I concealed that fact when you questioned me earlier. It was very wrong of me, miss. I feel better now that I've made a clean breast of it.
We actually didn't know. Thanks.
Would you like to change your story about last night?
Why, no. It is as I told you.
Do you have anything more to tell me of the Italian gentleman?
No, miss, and I hope you're not suspecting Tonio in any way. Tonio wouldn't hurt a
Tonio?
fly, and I can state positively that he never left our compartment all last night. Tonio may be a foreigner, miss, but he's a very gentle creature, really. Not like those nasty, murdering mafiosi one reads about.
Tonio?
You seem to know Tonio better than you led me to believe.
Well, yes, we work together. He hasn't told you yet.
You work
I
together.
thought he had.
Where?
That's why I... Oh, dear. I think I have nothing more to say.
That will be all, thank you.
Uh-huh. They work together?
Pardon me, Count. I still have one or two matters I would like to discuss.
Then please, do so.
Did you notice the grease spot on your passport? See it just at the beginning of your wife's first name?
These things happen when traveling.
Have you remembered anything about last night that might help us?
Nothing.
That will do for now, Count Andrigny. Countess, I'm sorry to bother you again, but I wonder if I might have another word with you.
Certainly.
Do you remember when I showed you this handkerchief? Handmade, embroidered in Paris, and of course, the letter H. 3 ladies aboard have the letter H in their names. But Madame Hubbard considers such a handkerchief useless. Mademoiselle Debenham's middle name is Hermione, but her handkerchiefs are dainty linen, not expensive. Hildegard Schmidt is a lady's maid, not a lady.
Why are you telling me this?
Yeah.
It leaves only you and Princess Dragomirov, but her first name is Natalia.
It isn't my handkerchief.
There is a wet luggage label on your suitcase.
So,
Oh?
Pulling it back, I found the initials HMK.
HMK.
That is fascinating, isn't it?
HMK. I gotta check her passport again.
You told me you have never been to America.
I've never been to America.
When you say you've never been to America, you say it with an American accent.
These questions are pointless.
These are observations, Monsieur Leconte, not questions.
You take too much upon yourself, mademoiselle. You are not a detective. You are a clerk in a train office.
Jesus.
Your employer will hear her a representative of this railway, treated a diplomat and his wife.
We're getting to the nitty-gritty now.
Why was the grease spot added to your passport and the label to your case?
My wife has told you the handkerchief is not hers. There are no H's in her name. Let that be an end to it.
Why did you hide your true
Oh,
identity?
she's still going.
Surely you can guess the reason. This man who called himself Ratchet murdered my baby niece, killed my sister, and broke my brother-in-law's heart. 3 of the people I loved best and who made up my home, my world. Of all the people on this train, I alone had the strongest motive for killing him.
I give you my word of honor. Helena never left her compartment last night.
Now it's an H.
Then the handkerchief is yours.
No, it is not. I know I can't hope to make you believe me, but I assure you that is the truth.
I just got
When
confirmation
we
that it was
learned
from
who the man
princess.
was, and that the handkerchief had been found with the letter H near his body, I pointed out to Helena it would be better to remove any connection to her. A luggage label, A grease spot to cover the alteration. What could be simpler?
I have read quite a bit about crime, Monsieur Leconte. I hope you will take it as a compliment if I say you have the makings of a very fine criminal.
I think I will not take that as a compliment, no.
Madame la Comtesse, the motive for the murder lies in the past, in the tragedy that broke up your home. Help me. Take me back into the past. Tell me about your sister's household.
What can I tell you? They're all dead! All dead! All dead! Sonia! Robert! Darling, darling Daisy! That curly hair, impossible to comb. That sweet, sweet
Curly
smile.
hair? Could it be that little kid that we were looking at in pictures?
Tell me about the nursery maid who committed suicide.
Sorry, I went to get tea.
Suzanne.
No worries. How's your
If
tea?
she was involved, I'm sure it was innocently. Chatting idly with someone, giving the times of Daisy's outings.
What was Suzanne's nationality?
She was French.
What was Suzanne's last name?
I was only a child myself at the time. All we called her was Suzanne.
Was there a nurse?
Yes,
Tea is good.
a trained
Warm.
hospital nurse.
Damn cold here.
New
I'm
doctor
sure.
was her name.
It's cold there.
Did you have
8
a
months of the
tutor
year.
or governess, perhaps?
Yes, she was a
36
dragon.
Yeah, that's horrible.
English.
Horrible.
Oh, rather Scots. A big red-haired woman.
What was her name?
Miss Freebody, if you can believe it.
How old was she?
She seemed frightfully old to me at the time. But I suppose she couldn't have been more than 40.
I know you were only a child at the time, and that the passage of years changes a person, but have you seen anyone on this train who reminds you of any of those people?
No, mademoiselle. As much as I might want to see that swine dead, I did not stab him. Now that you know who I am, you will, of course, draw your own conclusions.
I don't think he...
Wow. Well, we learned a lot from that conversation. Do you see whose head is over here? Let's see. The doctor.
Dr. Constantine?
I thought you had forgotten about me. You have further need of my expert advice.
I'd like to talk to you about that, yes.
Good.
Could you give me an account of your movements last night?
My movements? Surely, I am not a suspect. But it is
It's
absurd.
12 months of the year.
I joined the train at Belgrade. I am the sole paying passenger of the Athens-Paris coach. Surrounded by the working staff. The doors are locked between my coach and the coach to Calais. So, I could not have committed the murder.
That will do for now, Doctor. I have nothing more.
Sarah's saying that she only gets 4 days of a heat wave in her area. Why do you live there? Oh my god. It's rough. You gotta really love the cold. And you!
I don't think she's a... Monsieur Hardman?
I owe you an apology, Miss Marceau.
You do?
I wasn't very polite when we first met outside the station. And I came on kind of strong when you caught me going through Michelle's things. No excuse for it. Fact is, I've always liked French girls. And that's not a lie, just the way it is. That makes my behavior even worse somehow, I think. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Monsieur Hardman. I accept your apology.
Thanks. So exactly what's up on this train? Seems bughouse to me.
To me, too, sometimes.
Fire away if you want to grill me some more.
Have you done any more investigating of your own?
Nope, after you caught me, I figured it wasn't worth it. Snooping around might make me look guilty. I've been sitting tight.
It seems obvious the murder is tied to the Armstrong kidnapping.
How did you and Poirot get wise to that? That's what I'd like to know.
Burnt
We
paper.
guessed.
Okay, I'll pretend I believe that.
You were not the gardener at the Armstrong house, were you?
They didn't have a garden. I'm
How do you
beginning to
know?
believe I'm about the only one on this train who had no connection to that case.
Have you any ideas of your own about the crime?
I admit it's got me beat. I don't envy you your task, I'll say that. I wouldn't be surprised if this case is never solved.
I understand we'll be underway soon.
Yes, the snow is being cleared now.
Oh, we haven't moved yet? Why not? Hi. Hi, Bianca. Bianca's here. Hello. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry you'll miss your boat to America.
Under the circumstances, I've decided to stop in Paris for a few days, play with my grandchildren, and recuperate from this trip.
Have you thought of anything else that might be helpful to our investigation?
Well, you certainly have everyone in an uproar. Maybe next time you'll be able to be more discreet. Oh, I forgot. You probably won't be doing any more investigating after this, will you?
That's all.
That wasn't helpful? I thought it was.
That will do for now, Madame Hubbard.
Giving her career tips is helpful. Oh, I forgot to pick this up before. Give me that. I need that. Tony! We got a lot to discuss. Tonio.
Signore Foscarelli, I'm here for the truth.
I think that everyone has underestimated this Signore Poirot, and you too, Signorina. You too.
I found a chauffeur's license in your suitcase.
Yes, but it is a fact I have loved motor cars my whole life. Selling them, though, is much finer than driving other people's cars.
The license is issued by the state of New York. You said you lived in Chicago. Chicago is not in that state, is it?
No. Chicago is in the state of Illinois.
It will be a point in your favor if you tell me the truth.
Your fingerprints
You
are all
talk
over
like
the place,
the American police. Come clean. That is what they say. Come clean.
Yeah,
You
come
were
clean.
arrested by the American police.
Oh,
Was that in New York?
Arrested? No, never. They could not prove anything against me.
Don't you think you should come clean, monsieur?
It is true. I have not been frank with you. The word frank, it is odd, no? It is a man's name, but I think it is correct here. I am not frank. Sometimes, you know, a motor car may not be perfect, but you must make a sale. So you are not frank.
Oh, he's good at lying? Is that what you're admitting
You
to?
were the Armstrong chauffeur, were you not?
Since you know, why ask me?
Why did you lie to me?
Lie? Lie? I did not lie. I was not frank.
Why?
I do not trust the Yugoslavian police. They do not like Italians. They would not have given me justice.
Tell me about Daisy Armstrong.
That little one. She was the delight of the house. Tonio, she called me. They all did. She would sit in the car and pretend to hold
Stream's
the
going
wheel.
well. Thank you.
Such a beautiful
We're here for some
little
answers
one.
today. We're getting some good answers. Every single damn person knew the damn Armstrong family. It's like, oh crap. Everybody's got a connection now. This guy was the chauffeur. The valet guy was the valet for Armstrong. Even the nurse that I slept in the same room with, even she was the nursemaid or was going to be the nursemaid to the baby. It's like, holy hell, man. Everybody's got a freaking connection now. So now it's just making it even worse.
Have you been frank about your movements last night?
I had nothing to do with that business.
No.
It was not I who killed that pig ratchet.
Then why are your
You
fingerprints
cannot
all
prove
over that
anything
room?
against me.
Good day, monsieur.
It's in the room by that handlebar. His footprints were in the snow, and he had the fingerprints on the snowboarding shoes, whatever.
You should take care.
You should take care. You're going to prison, boy. It was either that couple, Tony. Trying to think of a small, dark, mustache man. He's dark, but he's not small.
Well, had a good rummage through my kit, I expect?
Yes, thank you. There is still some information I think you might be able to give us.
Indeed? I hardly think so.
Is that pipe cleaner one of yours?
Don't know. I don't have them monogrammed.
Can you tell me how the pipe cleaner came to be in Monsieur Ratchet's compartment?
I have no idea.
Haven't a clue.
Did you go into Monsieur Ratchet's compartment at any time?
I've never even spoken to the man.
You never spoke to him, and you did not murder him.
If I had, I should hardly be likely to acquaint you with the fact.
That's why we're asking
well,
questions.
it is of no consequence.
Oh?
Monsieur Poirot has told me he can think of 11 excellent explanations of its presence. Not now, when it's all over, when it's behind us.
Is that a quote?
Yeah.
Mademoiselle Debenham said those words to you at Sakeki Station.
That's right.
In
Maybe they're not
Istanbul.
talking about the divorce.
Tell
Maybe
me
they're
to
talking
what
about
those
the
words
murder.
referred.
Why don't you ask Miss Debenham?
I will.
I will.
You have nothing whatever against her.
I'm sorry, but you're wrong. We know that Mademoiselle Debenham was governess in the Armstrong household at the time Daisy Armstrong was kidnapped.
We know that?
The devil, you say?
I didn't know that.
If Mademoiselle Debenham is innocent, why did she conceal the fact?
I have no idea, but your suspicions are utter rot.
Yeah, because he loves her.
Why did Mademoiselle Debenham tell me she had never been to America?
You better ask her. I still think you are wrong. You're making a serious mistake.
I think it is you, Colonel, who have made the mistake.
Oh.
You'll not get another word out of me.
Hello again.
Monsieur McQueen,
I love how you say my name.
Oh, God.
will you be serious?
I am serious.
Are we going to
Sorry,
vacant cart
sorry.
in the back?
I better be careful. I've realized I'm definitely the most suspicious character on the train. All you have to do is find
Actually,
a will
the
in which
least
the old
suspicious.
man left me all his money, and that'll just about clinch it.
Is there a will?
Is there a will?
Not that I know of. He'd never leave me a cent, really. I was just useful to him. Languages and so on. I'm no linguist, but I can get by in German and Italian and French.
His voice dropped like 2 octaves. I know this and that. I know French. He's a flirty
You told
guy,
me
yeah.
you knew Sonia Armstrong.
Yes, I did. My dad
the
was
dad
the
was
district
the
attorney
district
on the
attorney.
case.
Everybody's
So, yes.
got a connection all of a
Well,
sudden. We only
I
had
was
like
just a
2.
kid, of course. a
Now everybody.
teenager. Schoolboy crush, I suppose, and all that.
Everybody was the governess, the nurse, the chauffeur, the valet.
It occurs to me that in spite of everything, the murder may not have to do with the
Too
Armstrong
much
case at all.
coincidence.
Oh? I thought that must be pretty settled.
We have much evidence pointing to the existence of an outsider aboard the train.
That too.
One who
We
disguises
have it all.
himself, uses a stiletto to kill, then vanishes into the snow. What do you think?
Yeah, in a
It's
kimono.
certainly a possibility, but in that case, he'll be hard to catch now. He's had quite a head start.
Yeah.
Or he could be out there frozen in a snowdrift or lying broken at the bottom of a rocky ravine. The body may never be found until the spring thaw.
Well,
Jesus.
that conjures up an unpleasantly graphic image. You seem to really enjoy this stuff.
Everyone
I
is
enjoy
sus
the
as fuck. I know.
investigation, monsieur.
It's getting worse.
I
We're-
certainly do not enjoy the fact that a man has died.
No, of course not. Say, I was just wondering. I mean, I have no plans to return to the States right away. I may find myself back in Istanbul.
Oh, he's going to ask me out.
I was wondering if you might consider having dinner with me
Hey! Hey, I'd be happy to.
I would be happy to,
Providing you're not the
providing you
murderer.
are not the murderer.
Oh, naturally.
Looks sus.
I wouldn't
Was he in
expect
a
you'd
lecture?
want to then.
In
I
Mexico?
expect not.
He could be the imposter. Yeah. Putting up a really good front. But he's not a salesman. I think a salesman would put a bigger front.
I can't say I'm unhappy Ratchet's dead for 2 reasons. He deserved it, and I met you.
Oh. Sucking up it is another reason. That boy is sucking up. Alright. So I spoke to both of them. Spoke to him. Let's go back to Debenheim, maybe. Spoke to her. Spoke to all of these people. Yeah, I spoke to everybody. Who I did not speak to was this guy. Where is he? Maybe he's in his cart. Oh, I need to do something. I want to go room by room. This is my room. I'm going to check my suitcase.
The notorious scarlet kimono in your bag, mademoiselle.
Well, of all the nerve.
Someone had the balls to put the kimono that I've been looking for in my own suitcase. Tell me that wasn't a nice touch by Agatha Christie.
Nothing else to say.
Those motherfuckers. How dare they? He's not here. Can I look in here or there? Did I speak to Lucia? He told me to come back later. This guy's not gonna be here. He's gonna be outside. He already spoke to him. He had nothing to say. The engineer's probably at the front of the train. I don't think you're gonna find him here. But we shall look. Michelle, are you in your room? Where's Michelle? I spoke to the doctor. Mateo is probably in the back. Mateo's not here either. Why not? Are you in your room? Where's all the crew? Where's the crew? Okay, so I need to work out this thing here. What? I knew it! I knew it! Get out! Get out! Get out! I can't move!
I wouldn't want to get caught.
Girl! Go out! Go out! Get out there! Who's out there? What's going on? I'm gonna get knocked over the head.
What are you doing? Let go of me. Ow! Take your hands off me.
Oh, we are getting way too close to the
Down.
answer.
Put me down.
It's gotta be a guy.
You will never get away with this.
Face hidden so we don't know who.
Oh,
Does that look like a small, dark man with a mustache? It's Poirot.
Ow!
Wait, what happened? Yeah, I've been kidnapped. They didn't lock it. But now they're leaving me. I can't
It
get
is
out.
secured somehow on the outside.
Thank God I have telepathy powers with Poirot.
An antique stove. I haven't.
It is far out of your reach.
They took all my things though. Hang on 1 second. What happened to the blowing wind? Wait, what was that? I thought I saw something. They took all my stuff, yo!
An antique Princess Dragomirov's parasol.
Well, it wasn't the princess who carried me out here. I didn't know the killer shack was in this. I know, right? The killer shack. I'm in the killer shack.
I already have.
Okay, well, let's go in here.
The most generous of kidnappers. Are all your belongings restored to you?
They didn't take the gun? priceless bracelet. Oh good, they didn't take the snowshoes. I need that. What did they take? The thick tumbler is here. They kept me the kimono. Bastard. I love that touch. There are things missing though. No, the Coney Island thing is here. What the hell is missing? The hammer? Hammer's here. I don't really know what they took. Did they take my orange juice? No. I wonder what they took. I'm not sure what they took. The padlock.
I can't see.
That padlock. Look at it. Well, hold on a second. I had 2 padlocks. Is the other one gone? The other padlock is gone. The one with Mateo's fingerprints on it. I can't figure out what else is missing now, though. Alright, let's go. Oh, it's like really snowing now. I wonder if those scenes had anything I need. Like, maybe now there's something in the snow.
No, the snow. It is
God. Oh, and now it's not so snowy. Why do I have a feeling like something's changed? Now I need to look for something else. A deer.
A deer.
This is a dead end. Let me check the dead end now.
Mademoiselle, observe, if you will, the 400-foot precipice you are about to...
That anything? No?
The view from here is...
May I see it?
The student of crime gives up on...
Alright, just checking to make sure I'm not missing anything here. I didn't go this way, right? Just making sure. Alright, let's go then.
The Calais coach. With the exception of the one window, it...
No, I didn't mean to do that. Turn around. Turn around! Go to the end of the hall. And go in here again.
The weather looks...
Oh, it's creepy. Alright. Let's try to do this thing now.
There's no power.
I know. The bracelet. The bracelet is copper. You're copper.
Something is wrong here.
Yeah. Do I have any way to cut this? A knife?
I can't get them to fit.
Hey!
This doesn't seem to work.
Need more metal. Give me the copper thing.
Something is wrong. Those don't work.
I need this bent. Oh! And I need this bent.
Something is wrong.
Yeah, where's the wrench? Or the hammer can do it, maybe? The hammer has been so useful. Let's try this.
This doesn't seem to work. The copper bracelet is now straight with a hooked end.
Hello! Hey, how are you? It's the review. How's the murder mystery going? So far, it's still a mystery. Hope you're doing well. I need copper. Ooh.
With any luck, that will power the radio, at least for a short time.
That actually did it?
The radio
That
has
actually
power,
did it.
but I have no way to communicate through it.
But
I'd better turn it off so as not to drain the battery.
yeah.
At least.
Yeah, hold on. Maybe the copper wire is supposed to go with this. Give me 1 second. Is it you guys?
I can't get them to fit.
There is a third thing that I need. But what is... Let me look at what I'm doing. I want to bend this and connect that. But it needs to tap on something. Because remember, we're doing Morse code. The button? A nail? A nail?
Something is wrong
Come
here.
on. I think the nails are used in some way.
Those don't work together.
What about with the copper?
I can't get them to...
Come on. I know it has something to do with those three things. But I still need to bend this.
Those don't work.
Let me see the wrench.
I bent the blade of the butter knife back on itself.
Okay. No.
Something is wrong here.
Maybe this is where you put the nails.
This doesn't seem to work.
Damn! Come on! Ah!
Those don't work together.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. The button would be a good thing to go. Alright, this doesn't go here. Okay. How about this? No? Okay. Not the nails, not that. Could it be the hammer that puts the nails into this apparatus?
A makeshift telegraph key. I constantly amaze myself.
And you're going to use the nail as the Oh, hello. But you need to wire it up.
I suppose that will do as a telegraph key.
We got it!
There, the radio is ready to be used.
Yes!
I don't know who to contact. I cannot just send random messages out into the ether.
He said he gave us a letter. Barnaby Dispatch. It's empty.
That will save the... There, the radio...
Turn the knobs or something?
I don't know who to
Did you give me a document here? There's no pad for this. It's gotta be a document. Why is this blank?
I don't know who... That will save this...
Good job. Thank you. Still a mystery. I thought you would have solved it by now. What are you trying to say? Poirot. High maintenance Poirot. Poirot. Alright, hold on. He told me to talk to that lady again. Let me talk to that lady again.
A don't think she's...
Cried out loud. Let me just make sure I got everybody.
I don't envy...
I don't think she did it.
I'm not in the mood to talk right now.
She seems to be completely unfiltered, but she does know the Armstrongs, but I guess who wouldn't in America?
Keep your eye on your step. This is what...
Are you threatening me, bro?
This is all nonsense.
You've got 10 times the spunk of any girl I've ever known.
He's still trying. Oh my god. Desperate. I'm not trying to say anything apart from you are a smart lady. Thank you. How you been, by the way? Everything going well? Is everybody having a good Friday? How's your Friday going? Any weekend plans? Exciting things? Besides solving a murder? Did you check his shit? Oh, here we go. We can check his shit.
The letter. Now I'd better put Monsieur Poirot's...
Is that the letter I need? Where's the letter? Lose. Here's Barnabas. He has call letters and everything. 2 and 2, THR. There we go. He tells me, Father, a Japanese... Still very excited. Oh, I look forward to that. Bye. Bye. I'll be right back. Bye. Commence.
There, the radio.
Superb, mademoiselle. You do not need to learn the Morse code if you have the book as reference.
Good. She's using the book, even though you don't see the book. Barnaby Lewis here. Who is that? A friend of Poirot. A lady ham, I say. Well done. Of course, I'll help in any way I can. I have ham friends all over the world. Tell me what information you require. Chlamydia? What is chlamydia-induced enteritis? That's an STD, honey. Yeah, you'll have to research everything. What can you find out about the family of a train company employee called Pierre Michel? I'll look into it. Can you confirm that Cyrus Hardman works for the McNeil's detective agency in New York? What was the name of the actress Linda Arden's husband? Oh, wow. Is there a Count Rudolf Andrenin attached to the Hungarian diplomatic service? I'm sure there is. What can you tell me about Countess Andrenia? See what you can learn about the service record of a Colonel Francis Gordon Arbuthnot. Can you find out anything about a Mary Debenham? See what you can find out about an American named Hector McQueen. I kind of like him. Find out what you can about Klaus. He's a chef. Anything on Mateo? Yeah, attended in the Athens Perry coach. Yeah, let's find out about him too. What can you learn about an American lady named Caroline Hubbard? I think she's okay. What can you discover about Greta Olson, a Swedish missionary in Gemlik, Turkey? Can you find out the last name of Suzanne, which was Daisy Armstrong's nursemaid? I'll do my best. Thank you for your help. I'll check back soon.
That will save the cell from draining while I'm not using it.
That would have taken me about 3 hours to communicate with that guy. We need to tell Poirot that I've been kidnapped. I'm missing stuff now. We got so much to tell him. Poirot, wake up!
Ah, your return. So is there more to report to me, mademoiselle?
Boy, you missed out on all the drama.
And that is everything I have discovered so far.
We progress, mademoiselle. Let us see what we can learn.
The scarlet kimono
They put it in
turns
my
up
luggage!
in my luggage. I swear to you, it does not belong to me.
Oh, mademoiselle, I have no
Trying to
doubt of
incriminate
that.
me
You
now.
have vigorously pursued its owner's identity. No. It is a defiance, you understand? It is a gauntlet thrown down. Very well. We take it up.
See, what's happening with this kidnapping and putting the scarlet kimono in my luggage is that clearly someone's really nervous. I am getting pretty close to finding out what's going on, and they're getting really nervous and suspicious about frickin' getting caught and going to the Yugoslavian police and stuff. So clearly now they're throwing even blame on me and getting rid of me, putting me in a hut.
The handkerchief with the H
They're
belongs
worried.
to the
They're
princess.
worried.
I confess I should have remembered that in the Cyrillic alphabet, Arch is written as N. And she has a strong motive to want Ratchet dead. But are we meant to
they were
believe
friends with
that this elderly woman prances about in the scarlet silk kimono? Or could strike with such ferocity?
I don't know if I would kill another person for a friend. It's like, come on now. Being a princess.
Schmidt
you know?
is accustomed
She's
to
got a lot
cooking
to
for
lose.
her employers, as we suspected.
Well, she's old.
And
though.
her mistake in how long she has been in the employ of the princess is remarkable.
It's a good way to go.
A difference 1/3 less than her mistress claims. 10 years. We must look deeper into this. What course do you suggest?
I will ask the Countess the name of the Armstrong cook.
The Countess has lied to us most shamelessly already, I'm afraid, mademoiselle. No, I think young Barnaby could better serve us here.
Then why did you ask?
Foscarelli was the Armstrong chauffeur.
It was a deduction most simple.
Masterman was Colonel Armstrong's valet.
And he's Batman during the war.
It's Batman. Can someone Google Batman? Tell me what shows up.
Greta Olson was Daisy Armstrong's nurse.
This may explain the zeal with which she cares for her young charges at her mission, and why she never had any children of her own.
The nursemaid Suzanne, who threw herself to her death, was French.
Why is that important?
To know her full name might be instructive.
The Armstrong nurse was named New Daughter.
Oh.
An odd name, that. What nationality do you think?
New daughter?
Slavic or Scandinavian?
Well, perhaps. I think that the Countess has the most fanciful mind and is quite adept at the word games. She is playing them now. Noi Daughter sounds, I think, only by coincidence, vaguely Scandinavian. Olsen is, of course, authentic Scandinavian.
New Daughter. New Daughter. Olsen.
Old son.
Old son.
Old son.
It is not yet fact, but it is worth pursuing.
Oh my god, bro. We're anagramming at this point. Jesus. So much
Helena
detail.
Gilbert's governess was an old hag named Freebody.
Freebody.
What an
Olsen.
unfortunate name for an old hag is Freebody. It is more apt a name for the generation of flippers.
Flappers.
Flappers. The fast young women were called flappers in
Oh,
America.
God.
Thank goodness skirts are finally lengthening again.
Oh, good.
As you
don't
say.
show your knees.
I wonder if during your time at university in England you had occasion to patronize the clothing shops for the fashionable woman in London.
No, Monsieur Poirot, not on a student's budget.
There is such a shop near my own tailor called Debenham and Freebody, and the description the Countess gives to you is as far from the attractive young woman Mary Debenham as one could hope to get.
Oh, God.
The Countess recognized no one on the train.
Including Madame la Princesse, her sister's godmother. Monsieur McQueen she may also have seen, but he has grown much, of course, and the appearance changes. But a woman of the advanced years of the princess does not change so much, I think. No, I find this lack of recognition the most damning point against the Countess in all of her evasions and lies.
Really?
So you see now why the Countess's failure to recognize anyone grows beyond suspicious.
Perhaps she is nearsighted.
No.
If she were the second murderer in
lied.
Ratchet's room last night, that might explain why she didn't notice he was already dead.
You know, at times you remind me so of my good friend Hastings.
Hastings!
Merci, mademoiselle. Unfortunately, the report, it is not yet complete. We are now armed with much more additional knowledge than before. Continue the investigation, and do not be afraid to go over the ground you have already covered.
So let's do the same exact thing all over again. I'm gonna go to the baggage car, see if anybody's here. Because now it's just a matter of talking to people. I've done everything here. I'll even talk to the chef.
Thanks to a master chef's...
He's still saying the same thing. But he didn't want to talk before. Can you talk now?
Excuse me, please, mademoiselle.
All the talk, where's... I do not know where my mind is these days.
Soon this entire affair will be behind us all. If
Really, miss, you know my secret.
I don't think he's in the mood for conversation.
As much as I might want to see that swine...
I have nothing more.
Well, this isn't going well. Can you talk now?
Mademoiselle Debenham, I must ask you why
good.
you lied to me earlier. Lied to you? I don't know what you mean. You told me you had never been in America. What makes you think I have? Information received, as the English police say. You concealed the fact that you lived in the Armstrong household. And what, may I ask, was I supposed to have been doing there? You were governess to Helena Gilbert, Mrs. Armstrong's young sister. And you would have no doubt been governess to little Daisy when she was old enough. You appear to have found me out. And the reason for these evasions? I have my living to get. You must know how hard it is for a girl to get and keep decent employment. I had been detained and questioned in connection with a murder case. Do you think that any nice, ordinary, middle-class Englishwoman would want to engage a girl with those references as governess to her daughters? Even if no blame attached to you, there would be the publicity. Yes, we have it hard enough getting on, don't we?
Yep.
Without all of that additional baggage. I understand very well. I thought you would know what it is like. I am the hardest working employee in the office, yet I remain at the lowest wages. And I've worried more than once how my employer, Monsieur Booth, will react when he learns of the avalanche, Monsieur Poirot's accident, the murder. I'm not to blame, but somehow you will be blamed. It's not fair. It's just the way things are.
I need chocolate. Gee, they're so right, though.
You could have
Think about it,
helped
it's
the
1934.
investigation. How? Is it possible, Mademoiselle Debenham? Call me Mary, please.
Ooh, first name
Mary,
basis.
is it possible you did not recognize Countess Andrenyi? Recognize her? From the society pages, you mean? She is Helena Gilbert, the young sister whom you taught in New York. Helena. It is true she reminded me of someone. It puzzled me. But she looks so different now. So elegant. How could I connect her with a little American schoolgirl? I admit I looked more closely at her clothes than her face, and I had my own preoccupations. Not now. When it's all over, when it's behind us. Antoinette, those words refer to a private matter of my own. I can't tell you. I can't. Au revoir, Mademoiselle Debenham.
Whoever did it, I think.
Later, we can talk till the cows come home if you like.
Tony. Tonio.
You should take care.
I will not answer any.
You've got 10 times the...
God. He's still at it. Spoken to everybody. Before I see him, let's go see if that Barnaby guy has my information yet.
There, the radio is ready.
All right, he's ready. Here we go. So what did you find out about chlamydia? It's a rum disease found in animals, especially newborn cows. Okay, the reason why we asked that question is because the doctor is about to make an event and he's presenting himself talking about chlamydia or whatever. So he's talking about cow stuff. What did you find out about Pierre Michel? He has no family, he's not married, and his parents are deceased. He's not married. The poor fellow is pretty much alone in the world. But we have a picture of him with his wife and a kid. Interesting, maybe it's not his wife. What was the name of the actress Linda Arden's husband? Linda Arden was never married. But the father of her two children was rumored to be a theatrical producer named Mark Gilbert. Here we go. Now we're going to the Gilbert family. Show people. The rules just don't seem to apply to them. Did you confirm the Hardman's employment? I can confirm he's worked for the agency in New York for nearly 15 years. Did you find out about Rudolph Andreni, the Count? He's one of the rising stars in the Hungarian diplomatic corps. Yeah, he has served in major capitals of the world. Okay. What about Countess Andreni? She's married the Count just over a year ago. Her maiden name was Gilbert. There she is. That's Elena Gilbert. What did you learn about Colonel Francis Arbuthnot? He is serving in India, and he's in the Royal Northumberland Fusiliers. Solid, but undistinguished military career of almost 30 years. What about Mary Denham? She comes from a good family. Daughter of a Sussex clergyman. Has had several positions as governess, both here and abroad. What'd you learn about Caroline Hubbard? Checked with the American Embassy about the Hubbard. You'd think a middle-aged lady could manage to stay out of trouble, but she's filled with various nonsensical complaints about beggars accosting her, service at hotels, unfair prices, and so on with consuls in London, Paris, Prague, and Istanbul. They are of the opinion she should return to America and stay there. Nobody likes her. What'd you find out about my crush, Mr. McQueen? He graduated from Princeton, a university of the Yanks called Ivy League. No idea what that means. Since this, he's been gadding about the world, doing this and that. Not much to tell, I'm afraid. That's good. That means he doesn't have a record. What the fuck? You're talking a bit. I woke up and you talking about chlamydia? Could only locate one item on the chef fellow, newspaper account of break into the restaurant where he was a chef. Nobody died, no charges filed, although he did go after a reporter with a cleaver, it seems. He loves his cleaver, man. Okay, so what about Mateo? I'm very curious about Mateo. He's a Spanish handwriting, whatever. He's one incident when he was younger. He stabbed some fellow with a knife during a fight. But a good report on him from Monsieur Bouche in Istanbul, which is my boss. I say Bouche was beside himself with worry over your train getting stuck in the snow. I didn't mention that I was in contact with you. Thought it would be better to be discreet. Okay. What'd you discover about that lady that I'm bunking with? Hold on to your hat. That is amazing. This is amazing. Greta Olsen is really Greta Olsen. A Swedish nurse and missionary working at a school in Gemblek. Sorry, my little joke. She is who she claims to be. Okay. Did you find out the name of that Susan nursemaid that jumped off and killed herself? Suzanne Ferrier, born in Paris. So she's the French maid. Hey, a French maid. Can you research the service record of the Colonel Toby Armstrong? Sure thing. Can you find out the name of the cook in Colonel Armstrong's house? Shouldn't be a problem. Thank you for your help. I'll check back soon. Okay, so I need to talk to somebody else then.
That will save the cell from...
So once again, I need to talk to somebody again. God bless it. Let's go back to the garden. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Nobody's here. You never know where people might spawn up, so I need to go everywhere. Gotta talk to him.
Do not disturb me! Someone has stolen my Black Forest cake batter, and I must make it once more.
That was me. Not bad. I used it to get Tony's footprints in the snow. Lucien, can we finally talk?
I beg your pardon, mademoiselle.
I hate you.
I know nothing.
Stop pretending like you don't see me.
I do not know where...
Mademoiselle, I suggest you look elsewhere for your murderer.
I agree. I think you covered something up. It's way too much coincidence that the valet is here, the chauffeur, the nursemaid, the nanny, the frickin' gardener.
I've said all.
Before I go, there was something else. What is the name of the conference you are addressing in London?
Why, it is the International Society of Gastrointestinal Physicians.
Why would such a group be interested in a speech about a disease found in newborn calves?
Why, there are many similarities between... What I mean is anatomy. Constantine, what have you done?
What?
You lied to us about your qualifications, Doctor. You are a veterinarian.
Oh,
yes?
he's a veterinarian.
Yes, a very good veterinarian.
Monsieur Poirot and I relied on your qualified opinions.
Mademoiselle Marceau.
All the inconsistencies, the time of death, the difference in the force of the stab wounds. The murderer is strong, but no, look here. The murderer is weak. He is right-handed. No, he is left-handed.
Have you considered he may have held a knife in each hand?
Doctor, enough.
He's still going
All
at
it
it.
can be explained away with the simple fact that you did not know what you were doing.
Mademoiselle, all of my training was to become a medical doctor, to treat human disease and to save human lives. Then, I come from a poor family. I had not the money to finish my studies. The best I could accomplish was doctor of animals. When Monsieur Poirot was told there was doctor on the train, I saw an opportunity to prove myself. Not to you, you understand. To me.
Aww.
But your evidence...
I swear to you, every observation I made, every conclusion I reached will be verified by any doctor who examines the body. Further, by my acting while the murder was as yet not too long in the past, I may very well have seen more than any doctor coming to the case days or even hours later. I did lie about my degree. I did not lie about my ability. You may rely on everything I have told to you. Yes, even with all the inconsistencies, you have the correct medical evidence before you.
Oh, hope you feel better.
You have medical facts before you, whatever you may think of their source.
Okay, so I had to talk to him.
Oh, another thing. Your name is Helena, isn't it? Not Elena. You are Helena Maria Gilbert, are you not? Sonia Armstrong's sister, Linda Arden's daughter?
I demand, mademoiselle, to know what right you...
No, Rudolph. It is useless to deny what Mademoiselle Marceau says. It is quite true, mademoiselle. I am Helena Gilbert, the youngest sister of Sonia Armstrong.
Good day, Monsieur Lecomte. I have nothing more.
As much as I might want to...
Oh boy. Oh boy.
See? I'm right. I am not so strong after all.
Whoever did it, I figure Ratchet had it coming.
So he still has no connection to the Armstrong people, right? Except he's a detective agency in New York. See you. I see you. And she has connections to the New York family, but
Later we can talk till the cops...
I know. Can't wait for that conversation. He's the chauffeur.
You should take...
I will not answer any more of your...
And he didn't really know them. He still admits that he doesn't know them, but he's into Mary Debenham, and maybe he's doing her a favor in some kind of way, you know?
I can't say I'm unhappy Ratchet's dead for two reasons. He just...
I don't think he did it. It seems very collective. We haven't caught him on any lies. Alright, Poirot. Oh, let me go back to that guy. Since I talked to somebody, it progressed, hopefully. And maybe he's got those two answers for me.
There's no power.
Oh, sorry.
There.
He has the information. So, what can you tell me about Colonel Toby Armstrong? He's the one that killed himself. Victoria Cross, just like what he said, served in the Great War, then India and Afghanistan. Royal, nothing but the tragic, that kidnapping business. Destroyed him, poor chap. Did you find out the name of the cook in the Armstrong house? The Armstrong cook was a German woman by the name of Hildegard Smith. Oh, she's on the train. So Hildegard Smith is the frickin' cook. We got the valet, the chauffeur, the cook. Oh, I'm getting asked for a date on the thing. You have a light touch on the keys. Oh my god. Men will try anything. Can tell this sort of thing, you know. I think we would get it on. Turn that thing off.
That will save the cell from draining while I'm not using it.
I ghosted him. Aww. Aww. Heading back. Alright, Poirot. This should do it. This should do it, Poirot. Poirot. Poirot.
Ah, your return.
And that is everything I have discovered so far.
We progress, mademoiselle.
Countess Adrenyi's maiden name is Gilbert.
Not a very Hungarian name, that.
Her accent is more American than Hungarian.
It is.
Countess Andrenyi is Helena Gilbert, Sonia Armstrong's sister.
Ah, oui. It is easy to see why her devoted husband would try to hide that fact. Her account of the Armstrong household is of the greatest interest. Please to go over the points of her testimony that struck you.
Barnaby confirms Colonel Arbuthnot served with Colonel Armstrong.
They were both in India.
Oui. The Royal Northumberland Fusiliers. A regiment most distinguished.
Mm-hmm. So he does know the colonel. I thought he didn't know. Oh, damn, ghosted!
Barnaby has discovered that the last name of the Armstrong cook was Schmidt.
All of her ladies have said that she was a wonderful cook.
Mm-hmm.
Dr.
Constantine is a vet, bro.
Is a veterinarian.
The only man on the train who answers the description of Ratchet's unknown enemy, and that is his only secret? Bah!
He doesn't care.
Pierre Michel has no family.
Never
And yet,
married, parents
we have
dead,
a picture.
his sister, her husband, and a niece dead in the car crash? Oh, this is enough to explain the sadness that haunts him, and yet he carries the happy
he had a
family
niece.
photograph with him.
That's who the picture is. It's with
and
his
the child.
sister and his niece, who died in a car accident.
The nursemaid's full name was Suzanne
Why does
Ferrier.
that matter?
French.
That she's French.
Yet no apparent connection to any of the others involved in that case. Ah, well, not every clue will lead somewhere.
Oh.
Cyrus Hardman has worked for McNeil's for almost 15 years.
In New York.
I wonder.
Yeah, in New York.
The father of Linda Arden's children was named Gilbert.
No marriage, just children. Ah, the smart set is often not so smart, I think.
I have all the pieces. All that remains is for me to assemble them properly.
Très bien, mademoiselle.
Yes!
You have done well.
Woo!
Mademoiselle Marceau, you will recall my observation to you of the many classes and nationalities one meets when traveling.
Yes, of course.
Try to imagine whether such an assembly would ever likely to be collected under any other conditions.
In America.
In America?
We're very diverse.
Wait, the great melting pan of America.
Melting pot.
This is the answer I made to myself as well. Only in America you might find a household composed of such varied nationalities. And
That's
what
true.
do we discover here? Such a household has recreated itself aboard this train.
Exactly. The
A
whole house
household
is here.
damaged almost beyond recovery 10 years ago by the man Ratchet.
Mm-hmm.
And so we near the end of at least one journey. Please to assemble our fellow passengers in the salon car. Oh, and please also to send for Michel and Dr. Constantine. I will need their assistance to convey me to the salon car.
All
You
right.
will present your solution.
I will offer 3 solutions. You, mademoiselle, will decide which
What
of
is
them
this,
will
Clue?
best serve justice.
We're going to get 3 endings.
Eh bien, monsieur. We have before us a most delicate operation. Transferring the person of Poirot to the salon car, where the suspects, they are all assembled. Poirot is ready for the ordeal. Marche!
They're parading
Mon
them.
Dieu, take care.
Beware of Greeks bearing gifts.
Bringing them in like a Greek god. All right, we're ready. All right, Poirot. Who did it?
Mesdames et messieurs,
Who done it? Here we
There
go.
are 3 possible solutions of this case. There is the solution concocted for the benefit of the Yugoslavian police, who were expected to take up the investigation. A little play that was then embellished with several improvisations. When I,
Here we go. Here we go.
Hercule Poirot, unexpectedly appeared on the stage.
Oh. We're
Then
going
there
to
is a
jail.
solution
That was the
reveals
signal
most
of we're going to
careful
jail.
plotting of a
I'm going to miss
truly
you.
brilliant mastermind.
Oh. You're going to jail.
And yet there is also a third, one of which I think even now, that mastermind, in this carriage with us as I speak, has no knowledge.
Huh?
With the help of Mademoiselle Marceau, my able assistant, you see Poirot, he is also able to improvise, huh? I shall put all 3 solutions before you, and I shall ask Mademoiselle Marceau and the eminent Dr. Constantine here to judge which solution is the right one.
Oh,
Mademoiselle,
so the doctor
are
is not
you
in on
ready
it.
to proceed?
Oui,
He
monsieur.
thinks the doctor is innocent.
bien,
We're going to ask
we
for his
commence.
opinion too, along
Monsieur
with my
Ratchet
own.
had received the threats from an unknown enemy. Mademoiselle Marceau?
Okay. The threatening letter.
The tone of these letters suggests an enmity
I'm being
born in
quizzed.
the American underworld, of which Monsieur Ratchet was once a part. A former colleague in one of his kidnapping schemes? Who knows? We have the evidence of a detective Monsieur Ratchet hired to protect him.
Mr. Hardman. He's posing as a salesman of a typewriter thing.
The detective is Cyrus Hardman, posing as a salesman of typewriter ribbons.
The evidence of Monsieur Hardman, who is indeed a detective hired to protect Monsieur Ratchet, gives to us a description of a small, dark man with a womanish voice.
The cook did too.
Except for the
The-
voice, this description would only
The
fit
German
2
cook.
men on this
The
train.
Armstrong cook. Not our cook. Not the butcher. What was his question? I didn't hear the question. Oh, shit.
Klaus, the chef de cuisine, and Lucien, the
Don't know
waiter.
what he
Can
asked.
you really think that illustrates my
I
point?
didn't hear the question. I'm sorry, I was talking.
Matteo, the Athens-Paris coach attendant, and Dr. Constantine.
Yet Monsieur Hartmann's vigilance during the night shows that no one could have passed from the Athens-Paris coach to the Calais coach without his seeing them. So anyone in that coach must be exonerated. The enemy actually came aboard the train at Belgrade one of two ways.
The door left unbolted for McQueen.
Through the door left unbolted by Monsieur McQueen.
Because
This
I was
enemy
still
was
outside.
disguised, leaving behind a button in Madame Hubbard's room when he used her connecting door. Mademoiselle, the disguise?
Well, the missing button is the attendant's uniform.
A passkey was found in the pocket of this uniform, giving the murderer access to Ratchet's room. Ratchet was under the influence of a dose of his sleeping draught, light enough to wake him, but strong enough to prevent him from struggling as the killer left through the connecting door.
Masterman confirmed the dosage of the sleeping drug.
Masterman confirmed the dosage of the sleeping draught.
Oui, he did. Well, the murder weapon is obvious. Mademoiselle?
You said it was the stiletto.
It is a stiletto, the type of knife carried by the criminal type in America called the mafiosi.
The killer planned to leave the train at the next station after committing his crime. Show to them the evidence supporting this,
Because
mademoiselle.
they were going to go to abroad. It's this one. The torn letter. Train plan. No, the torn letter.
Exactly.
Saying get off at Prague.
The avalanche prevented him from reaching Brod. Even so, he went through with the crime and then hid himself.
In the baggage car inside Ratchet's crate. Or the shepherd's hut on the mountain. Because the shepherd's hut had another attendant's uniform. Damn. I'm going to say the baggage car.
The killer hid in the baggage car inside Ratchet's crate.
Please do not embarrass us
God.
both. Choose another.
No, he hid in an empty room in the Athens-Paris coach per his instructions.
The killer hid in an empty room in the Athens-Paris coach.
At first, in the Athens-Paris coach. Then later, it is in the hut. Mademoiselle found the uniform and the stiletto. But the killer had fled. He may have escaped down the mountain, or he may have come to his just reward somewhere out there in the snow. I think you will agree
That's the first
that we had
proposition.
followed the trail as easily as if we were tracking the footprints in the snow. Well, it is plausible. It certainly
There's
fits the most
Tony.
obvious set of facts. I applaud the
It was your
mastermind
footprints.
who hides behind such an innocent face. The second solution asked more of the little Gressels. Not only of Poirot, but those of Mademoiselle Marceau and Dr. Constantine as well. It was hidden most carefully. The unlikely accident of a means of communicating with the outside world, a part filled most ably by my dear friend Barnaby, made the truth, or at least part of it, easier to uncover. But I flatter myself that enough clues were found right here on this train that such communications were almost always but collaborations of conclusions that I had already reached. So, mademoiselle, we will begin again.
Okay, guys, listen
First,
carefully.
I will speak to you of time. When did Monsieur Ratchet meet his end? I suspect Mademoiselle Marceau has the theory.
So listen carefully, okay? This second proposition is the one that happened in the book. This is how the book ended, okay? Mind you, actually, I take that back. In the book, he gave two propositions, and it was the first one and the second one. So this second one is probably the one that is going to be most key to understand all the mess that we have. So pay attention carefully, okay?
Shortly before 12:37 a.m. It could not have been Ratchet who called out to Michel in French. He didn't speak French.
Let us examine each possibility in turn. 10:40 p.m. or earlier? No, no, no. I think not. Mademoiselle Olsen spoke to Ratchet from the doorway at 10:40 p.m., but she never went inside.
I thought she
It
said she
conjures the
did.
image most bizarre of her throwing a knife at him 12 times from the doorway. And how does she retrieve it? Is there string attached to the handle? No, 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 no. No, that is a solution of a most lurid sort. 12:37 a.m.? A more interesting possibility. Monsieur McQueen states that Ratchet spoke no languages other than English, and yet the voice answered Michel in French. Still, I think this was simply a performance for the benefit of Poirot. One of the little improvisations. I was meant to see through it and say, no, 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 no. Monsieur Ratchet, he was already dead by 12:37. He could not have cried out.
The broken watch said 1:15.
Oui, it did. And it fits with the time of Madame Hubbard's visitor. Now I digress for the reminiscence. I observed to Mademoiselle Marceau that one meets many classes and nationalities
Chris.
when traveling
That was the
aboard the
Englishman.
Express. I asked her to imagine whether such an assembly would ever likely to be collected under any other conditions.
How you doing, Chris?
And Mademoiselle, what was your reply?
Oh, wait. What? Oh, in America. I remember that.
In America.
C'est ça. Only in America will you find a household composed of so many nationalities. Look about you. As our investigation progressed, it became clear that 9 passengers on this train are connected in some way to the Armstrong kidnapping.
Zutalo.
Who have we connected to that case, mademoiselle?
I'm sorry, I didn't listen to the connection. I didn't hear the question again. God damn it.
I need a moment to decide.
Time is of the essence, ma'am.
I didn't hear the question. Did anybody hear the question?
Countess Andrenyi. Count Andrenyi.
No.
Use the little Gressels, Mademoiselle Marceau.
I think he's asking about the people who lived in the house.
Antonio Foscarelli.
Not Hardman. Her.
Princess
she was the governess.
Dragomirov.
Debenham
Mary Debenham.
was the nursemaid. Hector McQueen
Hector
was the,
McQueen.
was the secretary.
Edward
was the
Masterman.
valet. The Hubbard was in relation. There's more, apparently. Hubbard?
Caroline Hubbard.
Mademoiselle, I realize you have many clues to recall, but this one should be obvious.
I don't know the question. Did any of you hear the question? Merde. Nope. Mon amis. Bonjour. What the fuck you going about? You drunk? I don't know.
Pierre Michel.
Can you really?
Shut up.
Colonel
Arbuthnot?
Greta Olsen.
Schmidt was the
Hildegard
cook.
Schmidt.
And none of the above.
None of the above.
Précisément.
Oh, thank God. I don't even know what the
These
question
four
was.
alone, amongst
But
the
it sounds
occupants of
all
the
those
Calais
people that I
coach,
listed
would
are people
appear to
who were
have no
living at
direct
the house.
connection with the Armstrong case. Yet I was struck by the curious coincidence that everyone in the Calais coach had an alibi. And these alibis are sometimes corroborated even by those not connected to the Armstrong affair. One of you stated to Mademoiselle Marceau that while Monsieur Ratchet got what he deserved, you would have preferred to see him properly hanged. The trial by jury is a sound system. Who said that, mademoiselle?
And for those of you that don't know, a trial by jury of sound system is 12 people. And that was said by Arbuthnot.
Colonel Arbuthnot.
Just so. Colonel Arbuthnot. Now that struck a chord with Poirot. I sat back and thought, a jury is composed of 12 people. There are 12 passengers in the Calais coach, discounting myself and Mademoiselle Marceau. Ratchet, he was stabbed 12 times. And the reason the Calais coach was filled in the middle of the winter was explained. All, I repeat, all of the passengers were in on it. They had to be. No alibi could be left to the whim of a stranger. Did this solution explain everything? Let us see. What were the clues that pointed to the first solution, mademoiselle?
This doesn't make sense. He's asking me what clues did we gather that they're all in on it. Je posse parler. Chris, you're fucking it all up. Je parle française. Je parlais. Je parlais. Hold on. Je parlais français. Zut alors. Bonjour. Merci. Oui. I'll add some myself. Add all the French words you know. Hey! Chris has been calling that. Called 00, whatever you call over there in Scotland. Show me your French words. Hi, Irish. How are you? Twat. Somebody help me. I don't know. I don't know. This...
Cyrus Hardman's story.
Please do not embarrass.
Shut up.
All of these clues.
Wait. And now, of course, my attention focused on Monsieur Hardman, for he, the apparent outsider,
has no
had
connection.
provided a key element in this artificial solution of an unknown enemy. How to explain his complicity? And then I remembered that Mademoiselle Marceau had told to me 2 suggestive moments during 2 different interviews with Monsieur Hardman.
When he said the snow was bright, remember he said
When
that?
he said the snow was bright.
May we? The snow has not been very bright today. The sky, it is overcast. And in his apology, he mentions his fondness for French girls.
Yeah.
Countess Andrenier told us that the nursemaid, she was French. Her name was Suzanne. Our young friend Barnaby Lewis confirms via the ham radio that her full name was Suzanne Ferrier, and that she was born near Paris. So, it is not so much a leap, I think, to wonder if perhaps the man from New York and the French girl working there might not have formed the attachment.
But how do they know each
I've
other?
been a detective for almost 20 years, Monsieur Poirot, but I'm in admiration of you. Yeah, Suzanne and I were going to ask her uncle if we could get hitched.
Oh.
He was her guardian. And the kidnapping and everything. It was too much for her.
Her uncle, monsieur? And his name?
Oh, jeez, I can't say I remember.
A detective for almost 20 years? And you never even knew the name of your fiancé's guardian?
No, probably got it written down somewhere back in New York.
Enough of this foolishness. I can guess his name right now, and so I expect can Mademoiselle Marceau.
I think it's Pierre. That's a French name.
Pierre Michel.
Can you really think?
Monsieur Ferrier.
The picture in your valise, it is that of you, your sister, and her daughter Suzanne?
Oui, monsieur. After my sister and her husband died in a car crash, I raised Suzanne as my own child.
And so, that leaves only one.
Me? If your tenant is one of your killers, Mr. Poirot, that makes you 12. You don't need me.
No, madame. I have come to the odd conclusion that the person who has taken no part in the crime is the one who would be considered most likely to do so. I refer to Countess Andrenier.
Damn!
Her husband swore on his honor she did not leave her room last night. A count from a noble family? A rising young star in the Hungarian diplomatic service? Such a man does not swear upon his honor lightly. No, it is much more probable that he tells the truth. And it is the devoted husband who, so to speak, takes his wife's place. So you see, madame, we are back to 11 without you.
Well, I never. Wait until my daughter hears about this.
Why not tell her now? She is sitting there right beside you, Madame Adam.
What?
You are the instigator, or the director, I should say, of this entire performance. You, who Mademoiselle Debenham so rightly called the strongest character among us. And there you have it. Does this second solution explain everything? Let us see. Mademoiselle Marceau, what was the real murder weapon?
I guess the steak knife.
But of course, a drama planned this carefully does not include the blood-stained stiletto with the fingerprints of some unknown. No, that is merely a prop, as were the 2 threatening letters. The burned note, of course, was a real threat. The conspirators most assuredly did not want this murder tied to the Armstrong kidnapping, and the true weapon, with no incriminating mark upon it, might never have been found if it had been thrown inches further.
Bloody steak knives aren't balanced properly for throwing. My hat's off to you, though, Miss Marceau. When I saw where it landed, I wasn't about to crawl out there and end up at the bottom of that ravine. Took some nerve doing what you did, and there's no denying it.
Oh, he
Here,
flung
here.
So, the improbable differences in the stab wounds is now explained. 2 so-called clues were dropped in the dead man's compartment. Mademoiselle?
Okay, so in case you're missing all of this, and I'm missing all of the comments, so let me just go back up. Did anybody add any more French words besides twat? Chris, go to bed. It's been a great night. Been dealing with a bad migraine. Oh, you too? But Paracatomo is kicking in. I think that's the stuff that B takes. I'm still in bed. Yeah. The MotoGP is at Phillip Island. Oh, I feel that, Irish. My head is gonna explode. I'm on Oz time. Just in case, Parmesan is sold in America under the brand name Tylenol. Yeah, I know that now. Yeah, I hope you feel better, Irish. I'm sorry. Starting to feel better now. Hey, good. Even managed to eat something light. That helps. That really does help. What time's your car racing in, Chris? Don't know. Barely even started. Honestly, I'm just going to bed. Bone wheat. Is that how they say it? Bone sweet. Bone wheat. Of good night. Okay, so it's official. Everybody on this damn freaking train, with the exception now of like the doctor, Mateo, and the drivers and the firemen and the engine man. Other than them, everybody's connected to the Armstrong family in some kind of way. So he thinks that 12 people did it. In other words, there are 12 stab wounds and 12 people stabbed him at least once. So they're saying that there were 2 items left inside the compartment. One of them is a pipe cleaner.
The pipe cleaner, incriminating Colonel Arbuthnot, who had one of the strongest alibis and whose connection to the Armstrong family was probably the hardest to prove.
Yeah.
And the second
worked
clue
together
found
in
in
the
the room,
military.
mademoiselle?
The second one was a handkerchief. Well, actually there was a stub of a cigar, but that had nothing to do with it. But I think it was the handkerchief.
The handkerchief, incriminating Princess Dragomirov, who by virtue of her frail physique and the alibi given by her maid and Michel was practically in an unassailable position. Then there was the clue found at the shepherd's hut with the incriminating fingerprints. Do you have it, mademoiselle?
The padlock? Yeah. The padlock.
With Mateo's incriminating fingerprints on it.
Yeah.
Not precisely cricket, you know, Tonio. To incriminate an innocent man.
Cyrus could swear Matteo had not entered the Calais coach. Michel informed us the radio was in the baggage car, and I went to put it out of commission. I did not want to destroy the equipment. It must have taken him much saving to purchase. So I only smashed the telegraph key. Signorina, you are a miracle worker for sure. To get the radio working
thank you.
again. I know about these things. That was a stroke of a genius.
Yeah. Now you guys know
Stick
that
to the
orange
point,
juice
Monsieur
with a
Foscarelli.
statue in it and some
With great
wiring can
pleasure.
actually generate power
The
like if it was a
padlock
battery.
was just hanging there. I found the snowshoes
You gotta
earlier,
remember that in a hurricane.
and then the shepherd's hut. I was supposed to find a good place for the uniform and the stiletto, and the hut was perfect. But I had to break the lock to enter. All I did was go and get the padlock on the radio crate. I didn't mean to point the finger at Matteo.
The other red herring was not a herring at all. But it was certainly red.
The kimono.
Mademoiselle?
And then to put it in my valise was not a nice trick.
The kimono is mine, monsieur.
Oh.
And mademoiselle, I had no intention of trying to incriminate you. I had to put it someplace. And I thought it would be amusing if you found it there.
Ah, oui, you enjoy your little games, Countess. Mademoiselle Freebody, indeed. Well, Madame Arden?
Je m'appelle Petite Princesse.
I always fancied myself in comedy parts. Bravo, Mr. Poirot. Well done.
Applause from an actress of your stature is praise indeed.
She's an
madame.
actress? How the hell does he know
We
this
were
stuff?
all at the house, a house filled with almost unendurable pain and sadness. The Perkinson brothers were dead, but Cassetti had got clean away. We decided then and there that the sentence of death that Cassetti had escaped would be carried out. Little did we know how many years would pass, how many false leads Mr. Hardman would track down before Cassetti would be found.
Whatever country my work took me to, no matter how tough the case, I always saved plenty of time to try and pick up the trail. But he kept on the move. Brazil, Mexico, most of Europe. Ratchet was only the last of a string of aliases.
Then Mr. Michel wrote to me. It was he who, quite by accident, had recognized Cassetti traveling aboard the Istanbul to Calais train. When we learned the man, now calling himself Ratchet, frequently traveled to the Middle East aboard the train, we knew we could have some control of the scene of our planned execution. It took months, but in time Ratchet hired both Hector and Masterman.
One of us would have been enough. Two were better.
Hector handled all of Ratchet's travel arrangements. With Michel's help, passage was booked on the same train he would be using to return from his latest excursion to the Orient. The rest you seem to know.
Oui, madame. Indeed, the rest Poirot knows.
But I don't understand. You've uncovered everything. We know we did it. How can there be another solution?
Simplicity itself. There is among you one who is not who he pretends to be. With the help of Mademoiselle Marceau, I will now present you with those clues which fit neither solution so far proposed, and present you with a truth that will surprise even you. I know some of you suspected something was not quite right, but let us now look at the clues that fit neither solution so far. Madame Schmidt says she saw the phantom attendant, but we know now it was sheer invention. Yet we have the testimony of an independent witness who says he saw the non-existent small dark attendant actually getting on the train. Mademoiselle?
The engineer.
The engineer.
Oui, the engineer while the train was in the Belgrade station. And then there is the crate of Monsieur Ratchet and its unknown occupant. What clues associate themselves with that crate, mademoiselle?
There's the second attendant's uniform.
The second attendant's uniform.
Oui, the uniform I think worn by the person the engineer saw. The pile of books mademoiselle believes were useful in the planning of the crime, yet no one has mentioned them. And the fact that the person with access to that key would be in the best position to tell us something of the occupant of that crate. And lastly, there is the little matter of the kidnapping of Mademoiselle Marceau.
Somebody kidnapped me. This third proposition.
The what?
Monsieur Foscarelli.
I would not harm the signorina.
The third proposition was made
It is
solely
why
for this
we
game.
are all here to punish the kidnapper.
She's right, Poirot. How can you think any of us would resort to kidnapping after all we've been through?
As you can see, Monsieur Perkison, we have pieced together much of your story. Only the reasons remain, and I leave those to you.
What did you call him?
He called him Parkinson.
That is my name. Robert Perkinson.
What?
Silence! At once! You will obey me in this and listen to what Monsieur Perkinson has to say.
He's one of the
You
kidnappers.
owe to Poirot that, I think.
He's one of the
Please
kidnappers.
understand. I know how you must hate me. It was my dear wife Isabella, the unidentified woman the papers mentioned, who pleaded with Paul and me as the police closed in to let her take Daisy away. She was sick with grief.
Take Daisy away?
Cassetti
Good night,
killed the
Chris.
wrong little girl.
He crept up while Teresa was alone outside and shot her in cold blood. He was gone again before we knew what had happened. We'd refused his orders to kill Daisy, you see, so he took matters into his own hands and killed my little girl by mistake. If any group of people could know exactly how my wife felt, you are here before me. And we were afraid. Some accident when the police came. It was unthinkable the little girl should come to harm after we had just buried our own daughter. Some time after I escaped, after Paul had died in the electric chair, and Isabella had identified some John Doe found floating in the harbor as me, I joined Isabella and Daisy in France, where they now lived as mother and daughter. I knew we should return the child, but my wife would have died the day she was gone. The child now answered to the name of our little girl, Teresa, and called my wife Mama. You understood the meaning of the photograph, Mr. Poirot?
Your family. You, your wife, and your little girl. And once I realized that, I knew that you could not be Pierre Michel. I
Where
then
is
began to
Pierre
consider
Michel?
who you must be. Only one figure could not be accounted for with certainty. Robert Parkinson.
Last year, only days after my Isabella succumbed to a cancer that I think grew inside of her since the day of the kidnapping, I sought out Michel.
Oh
He
my
informed me
God.
of the plan to punish Cassetti, a plan that he, despite the death of his niece, never thought he could see through. He showed me the letters Mrs. Hubbard had written to him. He was in a terrible state.
He had seen Cassetti.
Yes, twice. On this very train. I could see he was not a strong man and would not be able to face Ratchet. I looked at those letters and asked him one question. Had Mrs. Hubbard or any of the others ever met him in person? His answer was no. I wanted Cassetti dead as much as any of you. He killed my child, and just as surely my wife. So here I am.
But, my granddaughter?
That means Daisy Armstrong
She
is
has been
alive.
staying with my wife's sister in Belgrade for the past few days. She came aboard the train there last night, dressed in an attendant's uniform.
It was her.
She changed into her regular clothes and has been camping out, as she calls it. The nuns at her school have kept up her studies, in English as well as French.
She is a good student indeed to have brought all her school books with her on the campout.
I told her to study. She has been staying in the baggage car in Ratchet's crate. Last night I took some food from Klaus's kitchen when he had gone off for a moment.
And the statue worth $4,000?
I dumped it on a trash heap near Sir Keki's station, I'm afraid. This cargo is far more precious.
At last, the riddle it is solved, n'est-ce pas, mademoiselle? And with a most satisfactory solution indeed.
Daisy Armstrong is still alive. It's like a freaking soap opera. And now she goes by the name of Teresa.
Mademoiselle Marceau, while they enjoy this brief moment before you render your final decision, let us, you and I, see whether you are up to the challenge the Poirot presented to you when our investigation began.
My challenge!
Let
Remember
us
we
check
said
the
we would do it
progress
on
report
by
you have been
ourselves?
keeping in your scrapbook.
Did I pass the challenge?
Mademoiselle Marceau, Poirot, he is impressed. You are courageous.
We did it, guys.
You face the
We did
dangers
it.
without flinching. You solve almost every puzzle that confronts you, overcome almost every obstacle with enthusiasm and good humor. It has been my extreme pleasure to work with you and to match the wits with you. I am sure that with the knowledge you now have of my method, you could do even better, should you ever find yourself faced with another mystery to solve.
Train to finally move. Yeah, that's the other train that comes specifically to move snow.
You are the representative of the train company, Mademoiselle Marceau. You have been instrumental in assembling the evidence that pointed to the solutions I have now shared. And you have been ill-used.
I am truly sorry, mademoiselle. I left you all of your belongings in that box,
he kidnapped
except
me.
the one I
Michel.
needed back. The key to the security room. You now know why. My
that's what was
precious
missing.
cargo had to eat. You have proven to be most
He took my
ingenious.
key. That's why he did it.
Twice you almost discovered my secret passenger. I left the parasol for you to discover. I had no doubt you would free yourself. If not, I would have found an anonymous way to inform someone of your whereabouts.
I understand why you did it.
As Monsieur Parkinson so rightly observes, you have proven your grey cells to be almost equal to those of Hercule Poirot. So, what do you say, Mademoiselle Marceau? Which solution shall we present to the Yugoslavian police in broad? Silence, s'il vous plaît. It is now time to hear what Mademoiselle Marceau has decided.
So, the first solution is that there was somebody that came onto the train with no fingerprints that match anybody on the train and put the knife into the snow, and it was a small, dark mustache of a man with a woman's voice and all that. We can pretend that it was all that. The second solution is what really happened. So the second solution is all 12 of these people did it. But they have suffered enough through the tragedy, and they really don't need to be going to jail for trying to kill somebody that basically virtually killed them first, if you will. The third one was very surprising. I can tell that Michel did it and all this and blah, blah, blah. But basically what I want to tell the police is what they want me to tell the police. And in the book, it's not a decision that just like that, you know, Poirot just said, you know what? I don't know what decision I feel like telling the police and all that, but, you know, I'm just going to go with one of you guys and say, yeah, it was just this small, dark man, and we don't know where the hell he is. We have evidence that he was on the board, the train, and he's gone now, and go look in the snow for him because he's not here. It was actually an extremely, extremely hard, and the only time that Poirot, if you watch his, like his old books and stuff, this is the only time, or I should say the first time, that he actually went with the murderers and decided to lie to police and say it was the first
Here are my
solution.
thoughts on the first solution. It is not the truth, but fits the facts, at least one set of facts, and it will be the simplest by far to explain.
No one will have to stay in Yugoslavia. There will be no major interrogations. You know, everybody can just go back to what they were doing. These people have been through enough.
My opinion of the second solution is this. It is at least most of the truth.
He's calling
as
it a night.
much as 12
Have a good
people
night,
in this
Irish.
car
Hope you feel
knew.
better.
They are self-confessed murderers.
We need another
and
murder
yet,
mystery now.
No, that word is
I
wrong.
do have more.
Justice was done here. Of a kind, perhaps not the justice I would have preferred. In
Well,
that,
it's
I
not the
agree
justice
with
I
Colonel
preferred either, you know.
Arbuthnot. But
Or they'd
still,
prefer.
can there be anyone, knowing Ratchet and knowing these people as well as I now do after only a few hours, who can't see the rightness of their cause? These are my feelings about the third solution. It is the whole truth. More heartache than even these 12 people knew. And it must stop somewhere, mustn't it?
Exactly.
There are lives to build and rebuild here.
Mm-hmm.
I think of Greta's words on her postcard, and of the family that had one last day in the sun at Coney Island before the storm engulfed them. I think they all, including Monsieur Perkinson, deserve a chance in the sun again.
I don't know about
Therefore,
Mr.
it is my
Perkinson, though.
belief, Monsieur Poirot, the first theory you put forward was the correct one. An unknown enemy of Monsieur Ratchet, whom the murdered man feared, sneaked aboard the train disguised as an attendant and is responsible for the murder. Unfortunately, he is still at large, or lies frozen in a snowbank somewhere awaiting the spring thaw. I suggest that is the solution we offer to the Yugoslavian police when we arrive in Broad.
Dr. Constantine?
Even if I did not owe you and Mademoiselle Marceau so much, I have learned to leave such matters to those best qualified to decide. I, of course, accept Mademoiselle Marceau's decision.
Why exactly?
Yeah, that's my view. What did I tell you?
So the person running onto the train in Belgrade was Daisy
Monsieur
Armstrong.
Poirot, your ankle.
It feels much better. And Poirot? He has been cooped up in his room far too long. He has the need of some fresh air.
The book does end, and several movies ends with him being at the back of the train moving.
Mr. Michel, I'm sorry.
But he is
Perkinson.
not happy.
I cannot find
He's
it in my
not,
heart to
you
hate
know,
you. All I
happy-go-lucky
find there
or
is
anything.
forgiveness
He's like
and
this, like
thankfulness for
completely
giving us
distraught,
back
like I'm
something we
lying
thought
to the
we'd
police.
lost forever.
Like, what am I
In
doing?
fact,
Is
it
this the right
seems
decision that I
You
made?
are now one of the family.
Thank you.
You're one of the family.
Daisy, child, my dear, I am your grandmother.
It's okay. It's okay. Bring it in. Hey! Let's get them all solved. Yeah! Let's do it. It's a celebration! We get a handshake in the back of the train. Not a Poirot going, what have I done? Oh, he's crying. It's so beautiful. It's actually a very great ending that they made him like that. The end! I hope you guys like that. That's Agatha Christie for you. Very complex, very detailed, very what the fuck just happened? And you have to really, place yourself in the hands of those people. I know it's really hard to, because you're just thinking I don't relate to these people in any way. Let me put the second overlay while we watch this. But you have to understand that that's the whole point of Agatha Christie, is that she wants you to feel a connection near the end of it, but not a connection during the thing, because you just suspect everybody. So that's actually done on purpose. And then all of a sudden, it makes you want to read the book all over again, because you think, oh my God, they did it and they weren't. So that was the good guy. I should have been more nicer to the good guys and all this and all that. But have you ever heard of a murder thing where they all did it? I mean, besides Clue, the movie. They all did it. And actually, Clue took part of this particular movie. If you didn't know that they wanted to get a similar Agatha Christie ending, and just how he presented multiple endings. They themselves also wanted to present multiple endings. And mind you, they didn't decide which one was the right one. But in this one, they did. So I think that was pretty cool that they made it very Agatha Christie-like. So, yeah, that's just one of my favorites. There's David Suchet as Hercule Poirot. He's in the show. He's in the movie. He does it all, man. David Suchet is an Emmy Award-winning actor who's just brilliant as Hercule Poirot. So it is of the highest suggestion to Bianca, she's still here, that I actually play the movie that was recently made. Or if not, what would be even more better is if I played the movie of Murder on the Orient Express with these particular actors of Hercule Poirot. I think that would be pretty cool to watch, because I think in a movie setting you would do all of this in 2 hours. And in 2 hours, you're not going to get the information that was thrown to you here. You're getting information here from the book, which is honestly just pages and pages of information that is just way too much. And it's hard to get one with the other, and I get that. But in the movie, you're going to quickly hear the highlights and lowlights to each person, and you'll might be able to determine things a little bit better. And of course, the most important part is, in my opinion, the most impactful part of this whole entire story. After I read it the first time, I Murder on the Orient Express is one of the first movies that I saw with Agatha Christie's name on it. But once I saw Poirot, of this character Poirot, I didn't know that he made a TV series. She made a ton of books on Hercule Poirot. I didn't know that. So I've seen the whole TV series, and then I saw David Suchet's Murder on the Orient Express the way the book was written. That's what I love about that TV show, is that it's exactly how the book is written. I'm sorry, but Agatha Christie can fuck with your mind in so many ways that you really don't need a movie that entertains you and all that. Her books were entertaining enough if you allow them in. It's really hard to take it in, but once you realize her rhythm of people and all that, you can't get enough of it. And that movie in particular will show you exactly how the book intended it to be, where Poirot is messed up from that decision. As a matter of fact, that movie is just another stepping stone of his career. After that, he's still messed up. So that's how amazing that movie is, that he's still messed up in his next case. Like, I don't ever want to do that again. Please don't ask me to do that ever again. It was like still something that he carried on within his books or whatever, his career in the books. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's almost like we're watching... Well, I can't say that it was like that. Never mind. Anyway, let me read all these comments I missed. Because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything that they were doing while it was happening. Alright. I'm watching Halloween Ends with Jay. Hello, why are you watching that? Oh wait, Halloween Ends is the one from last year. No, Halloween Ends is from this year. Why are you watching something we're going to watch this Sunday? Sarah. I can't hear Armstrong without thinking about Louis Armstrong. Oh god. Alex Louis Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist. Good night, Chris. Good job. We did another. I am gonna, if you want, I can stream another murder mystery. I've got several Hercule Poirot games and stuff. Night, Irish. Cool, let's get them solved. But this is the most famous one. Murder on the Orient Express is the most, what do you call it? Adaptations made of the book, because it is her best one. It was the best-selling book that she made. That was a good game. Thank you, Mentari. I'm glad you liked it. That makes me very happy. I actually did this for Bianca more than anything else because I thought she would love a story where you get a lot of you know, conversations and stuff like that, where, you know, and you're overhearing doorways, and you know, it's just, back then there was no internet. There was no Barnaby at the touch of a key going, can you figure stuff out for me? Yeah, sure, I'll get back to you, like if he was a Google. And you had to do things the old-fashioned way, which is conversations, conversations, and conversations. My granny loved Agatha Christie so much. Yep, couldn't wait. You couldn't wait. Had to see Michael Myers. Just get out. Get out. No, I feel asleep. Who did it? Oh my god. Bianca. Just watch the VOD. It's too much to explain. It's that complicated. Ask anybody. It took an hour to fucking explain it by Poirot himself. But anyway. Bianca, I hope you liked it. Good times. Good times. But I'm gonna do some more Halloween themed games. This is just one of them. I want to do a couple more, and I'll see if they work before I announce them. I gotta test it and make sure they work. So far, the screen capture thing is seeming to work for me pretty well, so I might go ahead and do that. But do you feel better, B? The most important part is you feeling better if you fell asleep. I hope you feel better. But anyway. You know who's filming? Finn is streaming. We should go join him. I'm gonna do a little raid while B tells us if she's feeling better. It'll take me a few minutes to do the raid. I have to thank every single one of you for being here. Thank you so, so much. It was very sweet of you to join me for this story because I do love this story very much. It's, man, it's complex. Jesus Christ. It's not one to do when, you know, when you have half a brain, because sometimes I do have half a brain. But, this was a good time for me to do this because my work has been a little bit decreasing because my boss was out this week a couple of days and he left me alone until 5 o'clock today. Alright, let's go raid Finn. And let's see if I can, did I call it off? I hate that I can't close that window. Alright, let's do it again. Finn fan. Hello, possum. Alright, I won't close it. I'll open another window and go back to my stream. And we can say hi to Mr. Finn. So, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you for the next game, guys. Thank you again. Have a great night and a great weekend. And we'll see you soon. I'll put this up in case anybody's watching. And let's go raid Finn. He's probably DBDing. Thank you. Thank you for watching, Mentori.